What's up, YouTube? It's Sonny again. Guys, this video is going to be a different one. Today, we're talking about football. We're talking about the best tournament in European football. And when you're talking about the best tournament in European football, there is no other football tournament that is bigger than the UEFA Champions League. And we all know that the UEFA Champions League lately has got into the quarterfinals. Yes, quarterfinals, which the final is going to take place in Munich, in Germany. But these quarterfinals have some interesting games, and I've listened to many people, and they have many people's prediction. I've listened to many people choosing who they think is going to win the tournament. I'm just going to base on this quarterfinal, just this quarterfinal. Then from quarterfinal we move to semi-final, then the final. I just want you guys to know that this Champions League has been very entertaining. Although it's the newest Champions League, newest verse of the Champions League, which consists of more than, I think, 30 teams, which is the first time this is happening, with a league table. And unfortunately, the people that won the league, the little league, which is Liverpool, were just knocked out last week. So this brings us into this quarterfinal stage, a very intense quarterfinals. So here is my pick, and here are the team that I think that are going to go through into the semi-final. If you agree with me, hit a like on the button right there, and leave a comment on what you think about the video. And if you think that I'm wrong, also hit a like and leave a comment in the video. Please, guys, if you guys know that this channel is one way or the other interesting to you, please give it a like, subscribe to my channel, because this helps the channel grow. Remember, this is not my channel, it's our channel. We're not just talking about fights, boxing, UFC, or whatever. It's about sport, and the sport that makes the headline, which is football, fighting. It could be anything. So I'm just focusing today on football, and I hope this one is going to be a fun one to watch. So let's go to the first quarterfinal. PSG against Aston Villa. This is a tricky one, because first and foremost, Aston Villa it was a team that nobody thought they are going to reach this far in the Champions League. A team managed by former PSG manager Unai Emery has really transformed that club. Now Aston Villa is a team that fight for top four, that fight for the league, and fight for a place in the Champions League. And now in the Champions League, they're in the quarterfinals. That means that Unai Emery has done a tremendous job in that team since he got to that club. Aston Villa, when last did Aston Villa got into the Champions League? That was like decades ago. But since the arrival of Unai Emery, that team has transformed. Remember, Unai Emery is not just a normal manager, he's a very great coach. A great coach. Coach with superb tactics. If you look at his players, all of them are high level. All these players never aspired to play in the Champions League before. But look at them, they're playing the Champions League. And now they're in the quarterfinal. A team who has big stars like Marcus Rashford, Asensio, Watkins. Those guys have tried. So nobody expected them to reach this far. Why PSG, Luis Enrique have done a great and massive job in that team. This same PSG last year that had Mbappe, they couldn't even play anything. This same team last 2 years that had Mbappe, Lionel Messi, and Neymar, they couldn't even pass the round of 16. But Luis Enrique have entered this team, have cleaned everything up, and look at this team right now. Earlier this season, they were playing bad, but now they are one of the most dangerous teams in Europe right now. So which makes this game really tricky. Really tricky. I think the first leg is going to be in Aston Villa and second leg in Paris. And it's going to be an interesting game because these two teams are in top form. Top form. Dembele now has 21 goals in 2025. It's a crazy start. I mean, there's nobody that has more goals than Dembele at the moment. So I don't know. I think it's a very tricky game, but who do I see advancing? I will say 55-45 to Paris Saint-Germain, because I still see Paris Saint-Germain as a team with more experience. They've been there before. They've gone past this stage before. And Aston Villa is just their first time. Although I'm not going to be surprised if Aston Villa take away Paris Saint-Germain. I mean, Aston Villa have been amazing this season. I mean, their form in the Champions League are top notch. So I think PSG goes through this one, but I won't be surprised if Aston Villa goes through. 55-45 to Paris Saint-Germain. So let's go to the second one, which is Arsenal versus Real Madrid. There comes this one because I see many people giving the favorite to Real Madrid. Yes, Real Madrid is a massive team. It's a massive team, a team which has the most UEFA Champions League titles in the history of the tournament. A team with one of the most accolades in European football, if not the biggest team in the world, one of the biggest team in the world. Real Madrid history speaks for themselves. I mean, crazy the way they will play rubbish today and they are going to end up winning the title. That's Real Madrid for you. Arsenal is a team where Mikel Arteta came into this club, was it 4 or 5 years ago, transformed the club. Now the club are aspiring not just for the Champions League, for the league title. Although they've been falling short lately. Last season they fall short against Manchester City in the Premier League. Now they are way far behind Liverpool. And Arsenal, for me, they are a great team, but they don't look like a team you can trust. That moment you expect Arsenal to deliver, they kind of fall behind, and they leave many people shocked and surprised, even their own fans. So I don't really know how Arsenal can be able to do this, but I still believe they can. But if you look at this tournament, Arsenal and Real Madrid have not been really, really consistent. Although Arsenal, you could say Arsenal have a very good back line, but their forward line, they don't have any forward. I think their current striker now is a midfielder, which is Mikel Merino. And I don't know how they're going to do with the Real Madrid, which has a massive, massive top notch players. So I don't know how Arsenal is going to do it, but I still see that they have chance. I still see Arsenal having a chance in this one because it's not just it's not just one leg, it's two leg. And Arsenal, right now, the only hope title they have now is Champions League. So I think they're going to put all their effort. Mikel Arteta has to do something in this tie. If not, I see his job at stake. While Real Madrid, on the other hand, haven't been consistent this season with the addition of potentially the world best player, Kylian Mbappe. They have not found their rhythm. I mean, Vinicius, Bellingham, Valverde, Rodrigo. Look, this has a bunch of stars, but their game hasn't been clicked lately, and they have been really, really, everywhere. It's like they don't know what they are doing, but they end up getting it done. They end up getting it done against Manchester City. We could talk about the controversy against Atletico Madrid, but they end up defeating a better Atletico Madrid in recent years. So I don't know. It's going to be really interesting this time, but I'm going to give it 60-40 Real Madrid because history has told us again that whenever you play Real Madrid in the Champions League, if they are in bad position, whether bad, good, anyhow, they end up getting it done. And remember, the second leg is in Santiago Bernabeu. So I don't know if if Arsenal could be able to win Real Madrid up to 4 goals in the first leg, then things become very, very interesting. But as this tie goes, with the forward of Mbappe, Vinicius, Rodrigo, Bellingham, Valverde, I see that game ending in the favor of Real Madrid. So 60-40 Real Madrid. Let's go to the next one. Bayern Munich, Inter Milan. This one is the best quarterfinal of this year quarterfinal in the Champions League. I mean, look at these two teams. Massive teams with massive history between their two. I mean, the last time they played, I think was in the final of the Champions League. Inter won 2-0, double goals by Milito. Then Mourinho was their coach. Then Inter was a massive team, and Inter is still a massive team in the Champions League. Look at their records. I mean, look at their players. They were in the Champions League 2 years ago, and those players are still there. They even had Marcus Thuram in that team, and that team has been amazing. Last year they won the Scudetto, they won the Italian League, and they are still every year they get at least quarter-final to semi-final in the Champions League. Inter Milan are always a team to watch. Bayern Munich, on the other hand, since Hansi Flick left that job, They have not been themselves. I mean, they've been falling, trying to rise up, falling, but they're still a massive favorite in this tournament because they have history. I think history is the one leading Bayern Munich to this stage. And if you watch the way they demolished Bayern Leverkusen, who they haven't beaten for the last 5, 6 years, I mean, the way they demolished Bayern Leverkusen, that made this tie the most interesting tie in the UEFA Champions League quarterfinals. So I think it's going to be an interesting game. Inter Milan are the team that love to defend. They go on counter attack and they have those two strikers, Lautaro Martinez and Marcos Thuram, in a credible shape, credible form. They've netted more than 20 goals in between them this season. So that's a good record for Inter Milan. And if you look at Inter Milan, are the only team that least concede goals. I think they've conceded 3 to 4 goals throughout the whole Champions League, which is a massive record. That's a big record. The rest have conceded 5, 6, 7 goals, but Inter Milan have conceded least goals. While Bayern Munich, on the other hand, are catching form. They are the first in the league. They have been recently playing good football. Vincent Kompany, their coach, has finally found a way that he could fit in the player into the teams. So I think it's going to be an interesting game. It's going to be interesting. Very, very interesting game. But if I'm going to choose one person, I think this is going to cause commotion, but this is just my opinion. I think 55-45 Inter Milan, because Inter Milan recently in the Champions League, they are so difficult to beat. They are so difficult. When they start to defend, it's so hard to score them. It's super hard. And Bayern Munich, their defense is kind of shaky, with Upamecano making a lot of mistakes. What Inter need is just one mistake and it is over. So I go 55-45 Inter Milan, but it's going to be a cracker game in the Champions League quarterfinal between Inter Milan and Bayern Munich. So let's go to the last quarterfinal of this year 2025 UEFA Champions League, which is Barcelona against Borussia Dortmund. I mean, this is a big one. When it comes to historical Champions League, this is a massive one. Dortmund, big team with great talent, but this year they haven't found their form. Remember, these two sides have met each other earlier on in the UEFA Champions League and they lost at home, Dortmund, to Barcelona 3-2, which was a very interesting game. A game filled with highlights, filled with chances, filled with drama, filled with a lot of things. And it was a cracker, 5 goals trailer in between these two teams. It was amazing. I really enjoyed that game. I watched the game and I really, really had fun watching the game, which is going to make this one very interesting. Knowing fully well that Football Club Barcelona they will play the first leg at Montjuic in Barcelona. But how do I see this one playing? Like I told you, Dortmund is a team which you cannot predict. Today they are winning, tomorrow they are losing. And if they lose woefully. With a new coach coming in, they've kind of changed the system a little bit, but they have not been that consistent. They have not been consistent. And I think this is going to be an interesting one based on the form Borussia Dortmund have in the Champions League. They have been great in the Champions League. Very interesting team to watch. Adeyemi, Guirassy, and they have a lot. Emre Can. I mean, they have a lot of players which can cause trouble into the opponent, most especially this Barcelona team, which for me, I think is the best team in Europe at the moment. Football Club Barcelona. I mean, they play the best football. I mean, look at Barcelona. I mean, they are the team with the highest goals in Europe at the moment. I think 140 something goals. I don't know, or 130 something goals. It's crazy what Hansi Flick has done in this team in the past 6 months of his charge in Barcelona. I mean, what he did with these same players, which were really bad last year, now they're the best team in Europe. is incredible. A team which has the best attack in Europe at the moment. You're talking of Rafinha, who is the leading top scorer of UEFA Champions League with 11 goals and 9 assists. That is crazy. And 5 assists, I mean. When you talk of Lewandowski, 9 goals, 3 assists. And when you talk of the wonder boy himself, the boy which everybody loves to watch, Lamine Yamal. I mean, these 3 forwards, they are just incredible to watch. And Barcelona, if you look at their Champions League stats, it's been incredible. They're the first in the league. They were second in the league, and now they're in a position where they could potentially get to the finals of the UEFA Champions League. And I see this match 70% to 30% to Football Club Barcelona. I see Borussia Dortmund really trying their best, but Barcelona is just going to be super superior over Bayern Munich, over Borussia Dortmund. I think this game is going to be mostly entertaining, but Barcelona, no team in the world at the moment, are more entertaining to watch than Barcelona. Although they have this eye line defense, which also some can cause them troubles, but this team kind of every game they kind of improve, they kind of get matured. And one thing, Hansi Flick has never lost to Borussia Dortmund. And a team which Barcelona have already played before in the Champions League, they kind of get better of them in the second match. So I give this game 70-30 to Football Club Barcelona. Let me know what you think about these predictions. Let me know what you think about my predictions of UEFA Champions League quarterfinals. Guys, I also would love to know your opinion. Like if you enjoyed this video, subscribe if you like my channel, and help me grow this channel, because this channel, like I said, is not for me, it's for all of us. And every day, every time, we are improving. Until next time, peace.